You don't apparently need to worry, because according to the New York Public Service announcement, if a nuclear bomb goes off, just go inside and wait for the police to tell you what to do. I'm sure that's all you need to do to survive a nuclear blast.
Natalie Tocci, Miles Taylor, thank you for your company this evening. Lovely to see you both. We'll be back same time tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
I'm Michelle Fleury in Washington, and this is BBC World News America. Chaos reigns in Sri Lanka. The ousted president, who's fled abroad, has yet to fulfill his promise to resign.
This seems to be a crisis of uncertainty. Nobody knows where they're going to get fuel from, nobody knows how they're going to get their next meal, and nobody knows who might be leading the country even in the next few days.
President Biden insists America's commitment to Israel's security is unshakable as he arrives in Israel at the start of his first Middle East tour.
I'm proud to say that our relationship with the State of Israel is deeper and stronger, in my view, than it's ever been.
Protesters gather in Washington to demand more action on gun legislation as newly released video of the Texas school shooting sparks more anger about the police response. And wildfires sweep through parts of Portugal as extreme heat grips the region. Welcome to World News America on PBS and around the globe. And we start this evening with Sri Lanka, where an economic crisis has created a political crisis. The country's president, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, who fled abroad in the face of massive anti-government protests, has broken his earlier promise to resign, even though he's effectively unable to continue in the role. Mr. Rajapaksa appointed the Prime Minister to be acting president in his absence, but demonstrators want both men to quit, and defying a state of emergency, they have stormed the Prime Minister's offices. Our correspondent Rajini Vaidyanathan reports from the Sri Lankan capital, Colombo. The view on the ground from Colombo from Rajini there. Well, turning now to the Middle East, where Joe Biden is making his first visit since becoming president. The US leader arrived in Israel at the start of a landmark regional tour, which will include a controversial visit to Saudi Arabia. President Biden reaffirmed his support for the idea of a Jewish state and said the connection between the Israeli and the American people was bone deep. But the US president repeated his call for Palestinian independence and did not mention Iran. In their welcome speeches, Israel's President Isaac Herzog and interim Prime Minister Yair Lapid reiterated the threat they see from the Iranian nuclear program. Well, our Middle East correspondent Tom Bateman is in Jerusalem. Tom, thanks for joining us. What is President Biden hoping to accomplish with this visit to Israel and this caretaker government? Almost 50 days after the Uvalde tragedy, new CCTV video has been released which shows how the school shooting in Texas unfolded, with police waiting more than an hour before entering a classroom. 19 children and 2 teachers were shot dead when a gunman opened fire at Robb Elementary School in May. Paul Adams has this report. Protesters demanding more action on gun control have held a rally here in Washington to call for a federal ban on assault weapons. Many of those who gathered were directly linked to recent mass shootings, including the Uvalde school shooting and the 4th of July parade shooting in Illinois. Well, for more on all of this, I'm joined by our North America editor, Sarah Smith. Sarah, if I could start first with that video that Paul Adams was just reporting on. 2 media outlets in Texas released it a couple of days before authorities. What has the reaction been? Sarah Smith, thank you so much. Well, record-breaking, sweltering temperatures across central and southern China have triggered the highest level of the country's warning system. At the same time, heavy rains and flooding are hitting the north of the country. Our China correspondent Stephen McDonald reports from Beijing. China's not alone. In Portugal, the whole of the mainland is under an elevated state of alert, as 80% of the country is at risk of exceptional risk of fires. I'm Michelle Fleury. Thank you for watching World News America. Goodbye.
Hello, a relentless heatwave continues in Iberia. Spain, Portugal, temperatures topping out